excused. Pledge of Allegiance.
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Don't have a silent meditation for this evening, so I would just like to move on to, is there any public comment related to the agenda?
I have none, Mr. President.
All right. Would like to get a motion to approve the minutes for July 28, 2015 Committee of the Whole, as well as the July 18, 2015 regular meeting.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Ayes have it. The minutes are approved. No announcements from the council president. Is there a message from the county executive?
Yes, thank you. Just a few things. Last week, you all know, was an exciting week. We hosted the first Republican debate, and I will tell you we've received lots of very favorable comments from the attendees and media and others about the hospitality that they received from our county, and so I'm very proud to say that it was a major success. And it's a good preview for what we're expecting in 2016. There was something like 1,000 journalists here last week, and many more bloggers. I don't know how you count the bloggers, but there were many of them. We had Chris Matthews sitting on East 4th Street, and Chris Wallace at Quicken Loans, and it was just a great day, and actually several days for Cleveland and Cuyahoga County. Also, I want to mention that I attended last week a high school graduation for our foster kids. There were about 50 of our kids that graduated high school, which for the kids that are really have gone through very difficult times, for them to go through this, get to this point, graduate high school is a major accomplishment, and we should all be very proud of them. And 10 of our foster kids received a full scholarship, a full ride to Cleveland State, thanks to a new program that resulted in this. It's called the Sullivan Deckard Scholars Opportunity Program. So those 10 kids are truly special and will have the opportunity to continue to shine. And finally, we here in the county hosted Senior Movie Day last week. There were about 650 seniors came down to Playhouse Square and watched The Odd Couple and had popcorn and enjoyed their time. And and one of the attendees, I might add, told DSAS staff that it was the first time she'd been to Playhouse Square in 50 years. So it was a good time for everybody. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Executive. Item number 9, legislation introduced by council. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions of council for second reading.
Resolution number 2015-0123, supporting the Cleveland 2030 district in its efforts to significantly reduce the energy consumption of new and existing buildings in the downtown building district and throughout greater Cleveland, supporting the Better Buildings Challenge and its voluntary leadership initiative that asks local leaders to make a public commitment to energy efficiency.
This item will be moved to the August 25th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2015-0124, determining the services and programs that shall be provided and funded from the Veterans Services Fund in 2015, authorizing payments to various providers in the total amount of $39,006.19 for said services and programs for the period ending December 31, 2016.
This item will also move to the August 25th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. Committee report and consideration of a resolution for council for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2015-0116, providing for the submission to the electors of the County of Cuyahoga an amendment to Article 11, Section 11.01 of the Charter of Cuyahoga County to ensure the independence of the auditing function by providing that the County Audit Committee consist of the President of Council or a member of Council appointed by the President of Council, 4 residents of the county with experience in the field of auditing who are to be appointed by the County Executive and confirmed confirmed by council, with the county executive and fiscal officer each serving as non-voting ex officio members, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion?
Mr. President, thank you. This is a proposed charter amendment that is slightly modified from the charter amendment we placed on the ballot last year regarding the same subject matter. If anything proved true from the last year's charter amendment to this one, is the $12 million that the county is now modifying its use of reserves to clear up items that were not cleared up by the previous administration as it related to addressing items brought forward by the auditors over the past 4 years since we've been in office. So this charter amendment clearly is impactful, it's timely, this year more so than last year as it relates to recent activities that have been brought to light, and it provides for more citizen input into our auditing process, but also removes at the same time any perceived improprieties of not addressing issues brought forward by our annual audit or other issues, in the sense that the fiscal officer and the executive are no longer serving as active voting members but are ex officio members. And I believe that this would be a prudent step in the right direction. This moves us in line with and would remove a continual audit comment that comes back to us by the auditors of our financial statements, as well as put us in line with other entities of other public entities throughout the country. And I urge my colleagues' support for this item, not only now, but also as we move into, assuming its success in passing today, its item on the ballot this November. Thank you.
Mr. President. Mr. President, my colleagues, first I commend Councilman Greenspan for his leadership and persistence in moving this important amendment forward. I'm not normally big on public relations, but how our new government appears to the outside world does make a difference. Independence is the universal auditing standard brought to our attention by both our state auditors and Gary Shamus, our newest commission member. Beyond appearances, an independent audit commission will have practical benefits. I'm pleased that the new administration is doing more to correct state audit findings, and an independent commission will advance that effort. This amendment creates independence by comprising the audit commission of the council president or a member of council appointed by the council president and 4 county residents. To maintain a close working relationship between the commission and the administration, the executive and fiscal officer are retained as non-voting ex officio members. The amendment makes 2 other positive changes. Tracking our desire that board and commission appointees be well qualified with relevant experience, the amendment requires that the county resident appointees have experience in 1 or more of the fields of auditing, accounting, government operations, or financial reporting. Current language specifies that the council president shall be a member of the commission. The amendment gives the council president flexibility to serve personally or appoint a member of council. This amendment was approved unanimously by both the Operations Committee and the Committee of the Whole. For independence, transparency, and defined qualifications for our Audit Commission, I request your positive vote to put this amendment on the ballot.
Thank you. Councilman Schron.
Ordinarily, as most of my colleagues know, I don't put my name on things of this nature, but I did feel as though the independence is so critical to have this function in place. I serve on a number of other boards, and independence in the auditors and the audit function is so critical, and I wish the voters would have supported it the first time, and I hope that they will see the real merit and value in bringing it forward, and ask that not only this council support it, but the voters support it in November, should it go on the ballot.
Thank you. Any other discussion or comments? Yes, Councilwoman.
Yes, I believe in committee I'd asked to have my name added, and still not on.
Please add Councilman Conwell's name. Any other comments?
I'd like to have my name added as well.
Councilman Jones. All right. Okay, great. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. Go ahead, vote. And the resolution is adopted. So we're going to the ballot again. Consideration of an ordinance of council for third reading adoption.
Ordinance number 2015-0012, an ordinance amending section 407.27 of the Cuyahoga County Code establishing recusal requirements for appointees to county boards and commissions.
Motion to adopt, anybody? Moved and seconded. Any discussion, Councilman?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. This ordinance is very clear in what it's trying and what it's attempting to do. Upon the appointment of the executive and confirmation of council to individuals to serve on boards, agencies, or commissions, they're precluded from being appointed if at any point it may be perceived that they might have or benefit from a contract to which they may rule on, even though there may not necessarily be a specific action at that time. This ordinance simply requires, it's a shall, not a must, that should an appointee be faced with a situation where they may benefit from a vote that they are taking, that they shall recuse themselves. And it provides a little more guidance as to also who else may be involved, such as the appointee, his or her family, business associates, and so forth. It also provides some interesting language that should an appointee, a board member, fail to recuse themselves, that it shall be sufficient grounds to remove them from the committee, which is something that we do not currently have in place. So I believe this is a prudent transparency measure. It also will provide the executive and council, as it goes through the appointment and confirmation process, the ability to broaden the pool of applicants to serve on certain boards. So I urge my colleagues for their support on this ordinance.
Is there any other discussion or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. And the ordinance is adopted. Legislation introduced by the executive, consideration of a resolution for first reading adoption under suspension of rules. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Been moved and seconded to suspend the rules. Any discussion? All those in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. The rules have been suspended.
Resolution number 2015-0154, amending the 2014-2015 biennial operating budget for 2015 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations, appropriation transfers, and cash transfers.
Seconded, Councilman.
Thank you. Mr. President, this is, as my colleagues are aware, every 2 weeks or every council meeting, we receive this resolution, and I ask my colleagues upon the receipt from the executive for any comments. There are a number of items on here that require significant modifications to the resolution, so I have proposed a substitute, and I'd like to discuss the concept of the substitute. There is one item on here relating to the Huntington Park Garage that requires 3 changes throughout this resolution. The original resolution requested $19,340,700 to be set aside for the Huntington Park Garage, although after discussion with the administration and with the executive and with council president, our staff, and Public Works, it was determined that at this time, only $305,509 would be requested or be required to get us through the design phase for us to ultimately determine what the cost of the project is. So that is probably the most substantive change to the resolution, which is in the substitute. And secondarily, there was actually a request by the administration to pull 2 items for a future meeting for pending clarification. So I'd like to make a motion to substitute Resolution 2015-0154 with the substitute that's presented at each of our stations.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Are there any discussion? All those in favor of amending the resolution or substituting the resolution? Substituting the resolution, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is substituted. Is there any further discussion? All right. All those in favor of the substituted resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the substituted resolution is adopted. Consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution number 2015-0155, confirming the county executive's appointment of Cheryl Harris upon her taking the oath of office as Director of the Department of Consumer Affairs.
Okay, this will be referred to the Committee of the Whole, and we will be having a confirmation hearing on September the 9th for Cheryl Harris to be the new Director of the Department of Consumer Affairs.
Okay. Mr. President, this next resolution, I'm going to correct it to read as I go through it. I had mistransferred the title. It is correct on the legislation itself, but I just mistransferred the title onto the agenda, so I will correct that as I'm reading it into the record right now. Resolution number 2015-0156, making an award on requisition number 34890 to a supplier to be determined in the amount not to exceed $12,800,000 for electric power services for various county facilities for the period September 1, 2015 through May 1, 2018, authorizing the county executive to execute the agreement and all other documents consistent with said award and this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
All right, this will go to Public Works.
Resolution number 2015-0157, authorizing a revenue-generating utility agreement with City of Maple Heights for maintenance and repair of storm sewers, sanitary sewers, and water lines located in County Sewer District Number 9.
Public Works.
Resolution number 2015-0158, authorizing the Director of Public Works to execute and submit various supplemental loan applications to the Water Pollution Control Loan Fund of the United States Environmental Protection Agency, one in the amount of $189,035.09 for construction of the North Granger Sewer Replacement located in the City of Garfield Heights, and the second in the amount of $38,447.50 for construction of a drill drop structure in connection with the Broadview Drill Drop Project located in the City of Parma.
This will also be referred to Public Works.
Resolution number 2015-0159, authorizing the Director of Public Works to execute and submit a loan application in the amount of $1,340,000 to the Water Pollution Control Loan Fund of the United States Environmental Protection Agency for construction of a gravity sanitary sewer in connection with the Broad Rock Drill Drop Project located in the City of Parma.
This will also be referred to Public Works.
Resolution number 2015-0160, authorizing an agreement with Red Center Logic for participation in the Cuyahoga County Benefits Regionalization Program for the period May 1, 2015 through December 31, 2017.
This will be referred to Human Resources Appointments and the Equity Committee.
Resolution number 2015-0161, authorizing an agreement with the Metro Health System in the amount not to exceed $607,747.96 for health care and management services for youth residing at the County Detention Center for the period July 1, 2015 through December 31, 2015.
Referred to Public Safety. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading.
Resolution number 2015-0142, authorizing amendments to agreements and contracts with various providers for Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act youth training for the period July 1, 2014 through June 30, 2015, to extend the time period to June 30, 2016, to change the scope of services effective July 1, 2015, and for additional funds with the providers in the amounts as printed on the agenda for item 10C1.
This will be moved to the August the 25th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2015-0148, making an award on requisition number 34095 to Lane Inliner, LLC, in the amount not to exceed $2,891,570 for the 2015 sewer rehabilitation program in various county sewer districts for the period August 1, 2015 through July 31, 2017.
This item will also move to the August 25th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2015-0151, authorizing an amendment to a contract with Economic and Community Development Institute Incorporated for management of the Cuyahoga County Microenterprise Revolving Loan Fund for the period February 1, 2013 through January 31, 2015, to extend the time period to January 31, 2017, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $2 million.
And this will also move to August 25th for third consideration. For third reading adoption. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading adoption under suspension of the rules. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
And seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of suspending the rules say aye. Aye. Ayes have it. Rules are suspended.
Resolution number 2015-0144, making awards on requisition number 33034 to various providers for universal pre-kindergarten program services for the period August 1, 2015 through July 31, 2018, with the providers and in the amounts as printed on the agenda for item 10D1.
Adopt.
Moved and seconded. Discussion, Councilwoman?
Sure, thank you, Mr. President. This resolution was heard in our committee, and we heard testimony from not only parents, but some children who actually go to these schools and how beneficial and important it is to their lives and obviously to the future of the county when we impact so many young children. So this was recommended for passage, and we appreciated having the guests at the committee.
Meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2015-0149, authorizing a revenue-generating utility agreement with City of Brooklyn for maintenance and repair of storm sewers, sanitary sewers, and water lines located in County Sewer District Number 1.
Move to adopt.
It's moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Councilman Germain is not here this evening. Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2015-0150, authorizing an economic development fund redevelopment and modernization loan in the amount not to exceed $650,000 to Keystone Tailored Manufacturing, LLC, for the benefit of a project located at 4600 Tiedemann Road, Brooklyn.
Move to adopt.
Second. Councilman?
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a very exciting resolution that we're bringing forward here today. As you recall, maybe 5 years ago, when the Hugo Boss was making on the front page of the papers, and they were going through some tough economic times, conversations about shutting it down, things of that nature, they were able to pull that together for a short period of time. Those of us who probably could open up the inside of their suit or their tags on their shirts would find that they don't have very many American-made brands of products that are even being made. What was sad was that the Hugo Boss decided they were going to shut it down. And to the credit of the Keystone Tailoring Manufacturing Company, they stepped in and said, we want to not only build clothing here and manufacture clothing, they want to build the top brand, one of the top brands in the entire world, which is the Hartshafter and Marks brand out there. So it will be made right here back here in Cleveland, Ohio. What they also did for a stand-up organization, and sometimes organizations don't get credit for it, they're installing state-of-the-art CNC computerized machine tools to cut the fabric, to machine it, to have it ready to go. Then they're going to, what they ended up doing is they're in the process of bringing the staff and bringing all the equipment online. They were temporarily laid off and receiving workers' compensation during that period of time. And what management did said that they are going to write a check to make up the difference between the state money and that amount to make them whole. So I think it really tells volumes about what Keystone is doing out there to hire the professional tailors and the seamsters to actually make this clothing out there. They will have a store out there, so I think it's great to go out there and hopefully people will look to that and go out and shop there. And their brands also will show up at, I think, some of the top stores, Nordstrom and places like that out there throughout the world. So I think that we need to recognize when a company like Keystone went up there and stepped up to the plate, taking this loan, going forward, making a commitment, and then making a commitment to their organized labor and their workforce as they put this together. So I would encourage my colleagues not only to vote for this, but encourage everybody to go out and buy a Hart Schaffner Marks suit when they have an opportunity. Thanks.
What time, when are they going to?
There's going to be a ribbon cutting on the 31st. On this Friday, there's going to be ribbon cutting on it, and I think that come time this fall, the store will open up, and they're bringing the first line, the cutters on, and then the next line where the sewers were coming on following that.
All right, thank you. All those in favor say, I'm sorry.
President, I just wanted to say in the committee what came out as well is, first of all, the location was perfect. It's a turnkey operation because these garment workers, sewers were there. And what we learned in committee is that this is a skill that's pretty much dying off, and we're going to have an opportunity now to train an apprentice newcomers on with a place for them to have a career, because these are people who are seasoned and have been there for so long. We're able to help the younger people coming up for a career right here in town. And here's a catalog of Hart Schaffner Marks. All you who will be shopping for suits, we've got different collections, Italian and New York styles. So it's exciting, and it's also a workforce opportunity for our young people.
Well, I used to shop at the location. It was Hugo Boss. I was sorry to see it go. I don't think it was Italian or New York style, but we'll check it out. Although,
one more comment. Ms. Simon reminded me that in addition, they're going to be working directly with Polaris Joint Vocational High School to intern students to learn that skill, which again, as Ms. Simon points out, it's a lost art here in the United States, and what's exciting is they're making a commitment to that. Not only that commitment going that way, but Polaris is looking to put in an apprenticeship internship program.
oh, that's great. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Ayes have it. Resolution is passed. Consideration of a resolution for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2015-0137, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires resurfacing of Fowles Road from the West Corporation line to Pearl Road in the city of Middleburg Heights. Total estimated project cost $1,200,000, finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's costs of said improvement.
Adopt.
Second, and moved and seconded.
Mr. Chair.
Do you want to have something to say?
Mr. President, my colleagues, public convenience and welfare is the first step of the construction project, and passage of this resolution will enable us to enter into a cooperative agreement with the city of Middleburg Heights and put out the project to bid. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Is there any other further discussion on this item? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Committee reports, and let's start down here with Councilwoman Simon and see how are we going to get. Yeah, I got that part. All right, we're doing just fine.
You got something to say?
Health and Human Services Committee will meet for a presentation 8 days from today on August 19th at 1 p.m.
Human Resources Appointment and Equity, August 18th, for the items that was presented today at 10 a.m.
Anybody got anything else?
Mr. Chair, the Operations and Intergovernmental Committee will meet in our regular time slot, not this slot, but the next one on Tuesday, September 1st at 3 p.m. And at that time, we will hear from our lobbyist representatives. We'll hear an update from Mr. Kraus on our collaboration efforts, and we'll also hear a presentation from our Inspector General, Mark Griffin, on the semi-annual IG report. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman?
I have a miscellaneous. I'd like to invite everyone to attend a town hall meeting on August 20th at the Rocky River Library. It'll be a health awareness town hall meeting. Metro Health will be discussing their expansion into Westlake, as well as Dr. Allen from the County Health Department will discuss trends and issues he's seeing in the county. So that's 7 p.m. on August 20th at the Rocky River Library.
All right, any other miscellaneous? Hearing none. Any public comment unrelated to the agenda?
Yes, Mr. President. Mr. Puri?
Good evening. County Executive Budish, Council President, Vice President, and Council members. The topic of my comments is vote no on sin tax in November. We need fair funding for the arts, where we all pay. The $1.6 million campaign supported by the county's political machine, the rich arts establishment, the powerful business community, corporate welfare recipients, and the plain dealer's propaganda machine is being actively opposed by a senior citizen with his $5 vote no on sin tax signs. So far, the plain dealer reporter, who never reported one word I said at the June 23rd meeting, has stated 3 separate times, no organized opposition to the renewal has emerged. Well, Mr. President, I'm an army of one, CEO, President, Secretary, and Treasurer, and all the troops, all rolled in one, based on the belief that takes only one finger to stir the pot. I'm actively opposing the 2015 Jimmy DeMora sin tax, fighting for the little guy, while the proponents are waging an expensive campaign supported by the might of Cuyahoga's corrupt establishment. I have a dedicated Facebook group and my own blog at Real Neo. I have literally no expenses. The $5 signs are left over from last year's campaign. The flyers are printed at home. The vote no on sin tax signs have been seen by thousands. So far, there have been 33 demonstrations for a total of 120 hours covering 5 districts, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7. For example, on August 6th, there was a 5-hour demonstration outside the queue before start of the first GOP primary debate. There was a festival-like atmosphere. This was an example, as Mr. Budish has pointed out, Cleveland at its very best. The vote no on sin tax signs were seen by hundreds, and clips were shown on the evening news. A supporter of Mr. Trump posed with the sign. The Welcome Jimmy DeMora Square sign caught the attention of Mike Trevisono's radio crew. In the interview, Mr. Trevisono commented that the suggested name, Jimmy DeMora Square, was not potent enough and that the new square should be named after Danny Green or Bernie Madoff or Meyer Lansky. Council member Schoen, who passed by, said hello. Thank you, sir. I plan to demonstrate in every district against the Jimmy DeMora sin tax and give Cuyahoga's corrupt establishment a run for their money. Vote no on sin tax in November. I'm submitting a document for the record. Mr. President, the damn Yankees are in town. Go Tribe. Thank you for your attention.
Yes, Reverend Pinckney Butts.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. You still alive? Let me hear something up in here. I'm a preacher. I like a little background noise. I wanted to just come to you this evening because I wanted to find out. First of all, I hadn't heard back from you, Council President Brady, in reference to what I was talking about, the patrol officers, about what they're supposed to be doing. I haven't heard back from you. So I'm sure your schedule's been busy, but I still want, because all of the police entities work together. And if one gets a document or information pertaining to a person, then it all affects the whole police task force. When I was speaking at the rally outside of the GOP debate on last week, I was very concerned about a few things. And one of my concerns is the death penalty. And I don't hear anybody addressing that. I hear all these different other factors. And within the death penalty, it's not just execution style through the courts, but I want you to consider implementing, not imposing, because it's not an imposition. Smoking is the imposition. Implementing a smoking ban throughout the county, beginning on Public Square, throughout the city. And I would like to have one nationwide if it would ever be happening in my day and time to see it happen. And it's just an intrusion to go into buildings and to have to be bombarded with all of these fumes and secondhand smoke and these other things. I would ask that you consider that. But I did write a couple things that I would like to share before I take my seat and before I leave. And this is one of the things I had written a book when I was homeless, going through those atrocities that I shared with you. And maybe one day you'll have a chance to look at this and give some ideas to help the county. This one just says, you say that you are pro-life, yet war and capital punishment are on the table. You abuse, neglect, and endanger communities, then give them a label. You say that you are waiting for a rainy day. You say you really know the way. With our lives, you choose to play. Pro-life is really not your plan or your way. Practice what you preach and do what you say. Choose life, not war. Take the death penalty off of the floor. It will be then that we have a nation. We will truly have a blessed place to live, not the hypocrisy that some choose to give. Because I am a political preacher. Yes, I am a political preacher. So is my God. Upon this soil, the gospel of peace must be shod. God is definitely political. He says that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. He says no more fasting for debate and strife. It's time out for political debates. And it's time to come to the table. It's time to reason. Thank you.
Aye.